So the last couple of lessons we looked at combining like terms, simplifying expressions. Remember, there's a difference between an expression and an equation. Now, an equation actually, the main difference is that we end up with an equal sign in the equation. So if we look here, notice we have an equation right there. All right, so what we're going to do now is move from expressions and move into equations. Instead of just simplifying, what we want to do is we actually want to solve for our variable. We want to get an answer to go with whatever variable we have. So here we have v. Now, when we do with expressions, say we have two things that are adding together, we add them together. When we're dealing with equations, we do the opposite as we go across the equal sign. So you can think about it like this. Opposite sides means opposite signs. If I'm going to opposite sides of my equal side, I'm going to use my opposite sign. So notice here, 3v, let's just write this out actually, 3v is equal to 9. So I want the v by itself. Notice originally it's multiplication. So I'm going to do my opposite sign here, and I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And so I end up with v is equal to 9 divided by 3. That's going to come out to 3. And that's going to be my final answer here. I get v is equal to 3. That looks great. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, so this one's got a little bit of a decimal, but that's okay. We can deal with decimals, right? So let's take a look. I've got v divided by 3 is equal to 1.4. So again, let's go ahead and write that out. V over 3 is equal to 1.4. So in this case, my opposite sign instead of division is going to be multiplication, and it's always based off of how do I get the variable by itself. So in this case, v is equal to 1.4 times 3, so I should make that decimal a little lower. So 1.4 times 3, we could do it by hand or with a calculator, either way. Use Desmos if you need a calculator. So 3 times 4, that's 12. Carry 1, 3 times 3 plus 1, that's 4, and my decimal. So v here is equal to 4.2. And notice once again, we did multiplication instead of division. All right, let's look here. If I have subtraction, what's my opposite sign from subtraction? Well, it's going to be addition, right? So here I would add 12 to both sides. So this IXL works only on one step. You should only have to take one step to get to the solution. So here at 60, notice the numbers are getting a little bit bigger. If I add 62 on both sides, that's going to get me 80. T is equal to 80 here. All right, and let's just look at this last one. Okay, and here's some negatives. Remember, we divide by a negative divided by a negative, that's going to be a positive. So this is going to be a positive answer here. So one step should be very easy. You should be pretty confident that you can knock this out pretty easily. Again, you only need to get to 80 on this IXL. You don't need to go above 80. So get to 80, and that will take care of this particular assignment.